This podcast contains some explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised. Previously on the Embracing the Journey podcast.
The most divine thing that I can do is to be present and be human and not dissociate from what is going on around me. Some people worship status, power, control, influence, whatever that may be, man. And you just look at our society. People worship sports. If you fill a stadium and we've got homeless people sleeping in the streets of Seattle, let my life be an example to other people that you can make a difference, a real one, but you got to be willing to look at yourself.
Welcome back to Embracing the Journey podcast.
You asked me where the strength comes from, and it's literally those small moments where I know that me being honest and authentic makes an impact for somebody else who maybe isn't willing to speak it out publicly, but wants to do the work on their own. Or for that person who feels totally and completely trapped in their situation, which is how I felt when I was in Germany until I made the decision to pack a backpack and get on an airplane and walk out of my entire life, more money than I had ever made. I mean, my left arm is covered in tattoos of I love you in the language of other countries that I've been to, and I need to add like 18 more to it. I was living my dream and I was miserable. I was crying every day before work in the car. I couldn't sleep at night next to this woman that I thought I loved. Everything I had ever wanted, and I was miserable.
What would you tell a guy right now that may not have the strength, may not have the voice, may not even have the know-how, and they're dealing with a similar situation, whether it's a narcissistic partner, them hating their job, whatever the situation may be, them not being able to show their ex-wife or ex-partner that they're a changed individual due to what things have happened in the past. What words of wisdom would you lay on that?
Society is lying to you. Men feel their feelings. We're honest. We respect other people. The choice to be peaceful does not mean laying down and being hurt. It means that I speak and set my boundaries and I hold firmly to those. Reach out and connect with me. I am Andrew Carroll across almost every platform. You're not alone. If it weren't for people truly loving on me, I would still be stuck in that relationship. And it's the kind of thing, there's no judgment here, right? For her. I still love her. But I know that what that looks like is I can't talk to her anymore ever again. I can't see her ever again. And based on the way that our relationship was unfolding for both of us, my participation in that relationship allowed her to behave in ways that are not good for her either. And because I love her, I will never see her again.
And this was over in Germany.
Yeah, she's American. But it just can't be.
Andrew, man, the way that you speak, the way that you articulate your emotions, your feelings, how you talk about others, it's I'm getting this like overwhelming sense of like comfort. I have a question for you. Do you like yourself?
Look at the softball he throws up. I love me, dude.
Yeah.
I love me. And
have you ever struggled with self-hate?
Oh, yeah. I was Clayton Bigsby for like 35 years, man.
Wait, hold on. For those who don't know who that is, Andrew, talk to us about that. Because people may not know.
Yeah, right. Clayton Bigsby is the reason Dave Chappelle stepped away from Chappelle's show. From the interviews that I've seen, like I obviously don't know Dave Chappelle. I'd love to meet you, but I obviously don't know him. But and some of the readings and things that I had done about like why did he disappear? On set, they were filming Clayton Bigsby stuff, and some of the crew was laughing at it, but he, being Dave, knew they were laughing at it for the wrong reasons. And that was my entire existence up until I was like 17, and I got expelled from high school, sent to rehab, and had to go live with my grandparents.
Who is Clayton Bigsby?
Clayton Bigsby is the blind Ku Klux Klan member from a Chappelle Show sketch who is also a black man. And it couldn't have been more accurate for me. Like blind. I couldn't see the truth of anything, man. I remember being 4 or 5 years old and standing in front of the mirror wishing I was white. And
why?
That's all I knew. I was born in northern Idaho. 30 minutes from like Hayden Lake. I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but that's like the hotbed of white supremacy. People would follow me and my grandma because I was a little mixed kid and come into the gas station, and she would try to scare them off. My grandma's hard. She's cool. And my family, man, they did their best. They loved me. My dad wasn't present. Mom, I'm sorry, but I was conceived in gang rape. And I didn't realize just until like a couple of weeks ago that my mom had always told me that I was conceived in love. And then I would hear these stories about how my father was pretty sure he killed one of his girls, just based on some of the correspondence that I've had with him. I didn't write to him until 2020.
Write to him? What do you mean?
He's in prison. Yeah.
For?
All kinds of horrible things.
Okay.
Kidnapping, assault, drug charges. He was running women for quite some time. Like
black man?
Yep.
Okay.
And I've only seen a couple of pictures of him. He looks a lot like me, but if I had taken a different path,
yeah,
he's terrifying. I would be completely honest about that. And I have a sister, actually, a half sister, who I just met 2 years ago.
How was that?
Dude, it was like a missing piece of me showed up in my life. It's
really?
Yeah, man. Like instantly, just I'll do anything for her and vice versa. But she actually spent time growing up in that house of horrors. And I cannot confirm this other than just stories that have been told to me. But when my mother was with my father, it was so bad that she was getting ready to herself. She was going to jump off an overpass, and I kicked in her stomach, and she got down, and that was the night that the family came and scooped her up and got her out of there.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Looking to start a podcast, live stream, make a presentation, or perform on stage? Samson has all the gear you need to help you become a successful content creator. To learn more, visit samsontech.com.
No. Yeah. But it's good information. And it's good not only that you're getting this off your chest, but I am sure that there are so many people that this is hitting right in their core. So again, I'm going to ask you, it's not a simple question. And I've already asked you this before.
Right.
How and why do you still have this like twinkle in your eye and this like light in your heart? Like, we've had people on here that have gone through some adversity, that have gone through some very, very uncomfortable situations. And then there's you. I feel that I don't even get the sense that you're a person that's going to give up on yourself, dreams, goals, nothing.
Nah.
But the things that we've just spoken about, just in this time that we've been talking, not only does it feel like you've lived multiple lives, but there's been roadblocks every step of the way. And I can't speak for anybody else but me. This is just my experience. It would make sense if you chose to give up. It would make sense if you chose to go down this dark path. It would make sense for you to be everything that everybody's casted onto you. So the question again, what is waking you up every day telling you, Andrew, let's be better than yesterday? What is it?
Have you gone outside today?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, dude.
That's it.
There's trees, there's sun, there's
That's
rain,
simple.
there's like just
Right.
one more, baby.
It's
One
remarkable.
more.
It's remarkable
Like,
because, not to put your family business out there, but gang rape
yeah.
would have been enough. A father that wasn't present would have been enough. The first divorce would have been enough. The second divorce would have been enough. But yet, you're still kicking. You're still screaming. You're still fighting your way to the top.
Those aren't even like the top 4.
Right. But think about that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm only going to speak on my behalf. I come from trauma.
Right.
And
Black body, man.
I feel when people come from trauma, if it's only thing that you've known, then you can't look at it as anything else. You look at it as like, well, this is what life is. These are the cards that I've been dealt. But you said that you've done some soul searching.
Oh, yeah.
And you've realized that there's more to life than just what's right in front of your eyes. I want to speak more about you at the gas station, you being a young kid, not knowing what it meant to have black skin. I want to hear about that.
So these are just some of the stories the family has told me, right? I don't remember that in particular. The biggest one that sticks out for me is just like I shared originally, that first day of kindergarten. I remember the kid's name, I remember what he looked like, and I remember he had twin sisters, because by the next grade year, I was kissing them both on the slide. So you can kick my basketball, but I'm coming for your sisters.
Hey, an eye for an eye.
Yo, at least 2 eyes, man. At least 2 eyes. But no, I mean, like we shared chapstick, and I was like, ha ha ha. And I mean, maybe that was, just some of that programming that just pushed that, very common search for validation that if I can get somebody to sleep with me later on in life, then I'm valuable and I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I know that all you other dudes know what I'm talking about.
100%.
Yeah. I love what you said about if you come from trauma, that's all you know. That's what life looks like. And that hit me so deeply because I had never really thought about it before. But the entire time I was in Idaho and the entire time I was growing up in Montana, I always knew that this isn't what life is. And I would look around at people and I would see them. And I mean, you know what? If you grew up on a generational ranch and you've got 1,000 acres and so many cattle you don't know what to do with, and your operating loans are in the tens of millions of dollars every year, good for you, man. You're wealthy and you're a landowner and you are literally American royalty. But if you're happy with that and you're not trying to be better, you have nothing. You're stagnant.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly, to be totally honest, I'm going to speak the truth of how I feel. I'm disgusted by it. And I won't ever be that person. I may be a wealthy landowner in American royalty someday, but I know now because I am at the lowest position I have ever been in my life financially at the moment. I had to budget to make sure I had enough gas to come here. The other side of that coin is that I'm happier than I've ever been. And it has nothing to do with money at all. The last couple of years, I had more money than I knew what to do with. I had more savings than I ever had, all of that stuff. And like I said, I was miserable. And now my relationships are better. My engagement in life is better. Everything is at its peak except for the bank account. But I know that that's coming because I am ruthlessly committed to my purpose. And sitting here sharing things that are uncomfortable with whoever may see this, I hope that it's valuable for them because it is for me. And to share this space with you is a beautiful thing. It's really a beautiful thing.
You can tell that honesty is huge for you.
It's everything.
Because you are literally pouring your heart out to complete strangers, right? Not caring about the judgment anybody may have. And there's value in that. And there's value in that at the age that we're all at this moment, but also for younger people that are coming up in this world, that are seeing the world through social media, through media, period. So we talked a tiny bit about self-hate. Did you like yourself when you were younger, knowing you looked different than the people around you?
I hated myself and I covered that up with an aloof arrogance. And I smoked so much weed. I started smoking pot when I was like 13. And the medicine, I was disrespecting it. in every possible way. But even since the first DARE class I had ever been in, I knew that cannabis and psychedelics were going to be a part of my life. I didn't know why. I had no idea. And I was so disconnected spiritually from the dirt and the sky and the trees and the stars and the sun and everything else, man. And just Protestant religion driven into me like it was a stake into the heart of a vampire. But I self-medicated big time. And I spent
Were you
so
running
much
from
time.
something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Funny, like the second time I smoked pot, I had what I now know was a very clearing experience. I went into a deep processing and I had no idea what was happening to me. I felt like I was doing this so hard that like my teeth had come out and that I was only
Wow.
chomping with gums and I was curled up in a ball, like shivering. But that's all emotional discharge and traumatic release. And I learned that as part of the psychedelic somatic interactional psychotherapy that I started going through with cannabis and fungus and some other things.
So explain that. So what does that do? Like, what does that all encompass?
Next week on the Embracing the Journey podcast.
All I ever learned was how to put on a better mask, how to fit into society better, and how to keep the people around me close, but just far enough away that they would never know who I am.
So you saw your inner child needing love, needing hope, needing someone just to grab them and say, it's going to be okay.
Yep. You mentioned social media. The unconscious consumption of culture is ruining our youth. It is creating division. It is creating strife, contention. It is destroying everyone across the board.